Thanks for staying with us. So, President Muhammadu Buhari was in town, Lagos State, yesterday to commission quite a number of important projects. And he also granted an interview to a TV station. And now, amidst cry and requests for our president to speak to us, so many Nigerians anticipated that he would indeed speak to them. Some were disappointed. Others felt our president was within his right to say what he said. But we'd like to hear your thoughts on the president's interview and his comments, what you feel, and if he reassured you as a Nigerian that we're in good hands and there'll be an end to the insecurity that we all see in our country. Please call us on 081-270-53687. You can also call us on 091-390-76948. You can tweet to us at TVC Connect. Please hashtag YourViewTVC so we can read your tweets. We'd like to hear your thoughts. No, we can't read our tweets. So my brain just says tweets.
Hey, Sister Biko, Facebook.
Please, send your comments on Facebook
and YouTube.
It's going to take a while. Please, federal government, allow me to take a while for me to get adjusted to it. Please send your comments on Facebook and we will read your comments.
Yeah.
Now, I'll come to the ladies on all the various major points he made. And one of the things that struck me from what he said was the fact that he said, let me even read, he said he asked the Attorney General when there were issues of people complaining about the header farmer crisis. Yeah. And he asked the Attorney General to dig out the Gazette of the First Republic when people were obeying laws, that these already outlined the various routes for the cattle at that period, that this is what we should bring up and we try to reinforce. And I said to myself, Nigerians are here also clamoring, saying that our 1999 constitution is not working. Take us back to 1963 constitution. So since our president is also referring back to the Gazette of the First Republic, maybe it might be a good time for him to also reconsider going back. No, I'm just saying, I mean, he said he told the Attorney General, very specifically, to go back and bring out the Gazette that was in the First Republic,
which allowed the headers have their grazing routes.
Yes.
They can take the grazing routes to the southwest, just across the country. Yeah. Hold on. This is the 21st century. Because something has worked in the past does not necessarily mean it will fit into today's world. Good. What everyone is saying is, look at the current trends on how we can even have better cattle. Let us ranch. Yes. The grazing route will not work today. You know why? Most people have built on those lands. And he was saying that they should reclaim those grazing routes. So people who have built houses, who have offices, who have, you know, are you going to tell them now to pack away because you want to open that place and replant grass? Do you understand what I'm saying?
The point I'm making, I agree with you 100%. What I'm making, it is our president also going back to what used to be. Nigerians are also saying this constitution, it doesn't have equity. That we didn't come together as a people to agree. Let us go back to the original one where there was regional strength and autonomy such that people were allowed to use their own natural resources and develop their own communities. So since it's good, that was the point I'm trying to make. I wasn't against the point you make.
For me, my point concerning this, we get, you know, you made a valid point. Urbanization has happened. And as they say, the Constitution, the Land User Owners Act is the governors that actually have the rights over how that land will be, you know, finally used and given out, not to the federal government. But apart from that, there's also the point where we've always said we wanted to hear from our president. And it's always, you know, we don't need to hear from him. But now that we have heard from him, and he has made this particular statement concerning the grazing routes, now then he would hear directly responses concerning his points or his, you know, his opinion about grazing routes, and then be able to sit at a table, at a round table or whatever, with the aides that need to be in the picture concerning what is relevant for Nigeria right now. Like I said, urbanization has happened, life has moved on, changes happen. We have moved on from where we used to be many years ago. Now what we're looking for is how we can have harmony between headers and farmers. This is continuous till yesterday. I mean, just another story from Benue State. It's just showing that this is continuous, and grazing routes is not the answer to that. But it's important that we keep talking. It's important that the president speaks his mind, and then he can listen to the minds of Nigerians who are on ground. Because he mentioned something about the importance of allowing local governments to thrive and how the state governments seem to be stifling them. And these are the people that are closest to the grassroots. So that's a good point. And those who are closest to the grassroots are telling the president right now that the grazing routes are not the answer concerning as it pertains to the conflicts between herders and farmers.
Okay, so you also raised an issue concern. As again, we're waiting for people to call in, so hopefully we can hear your thoughts. You talked about the relationship between himself and the Governor Autumn of Benue State, which I thought was interesting. He said that the Fulani are different from the chiefs, that there's a cultural difference that stems through generations. It's been a long time that this conflict has been ongoing. And it's quite unfair for the... let me read him verbatim. He says, I cannot say I am not one of them. So, no, let me start from... There's a cultural difference between the chief and the Fulani. So the Governor of Benue said, I am not disciplining the cattle herders because I am one of them. And according to him, he said that I am one of them, but he's very unfair to me, and I told him that Nigerian cattle rearer does not carry anything more than a stick and a machete just to clear the trees. But these ones that we're dealing with are sophisticated killers who are the herders, are carrying AK-47, and those are the ones that he has asked them to shoot on sight.
Okay.
Okay, so now yeah, go ahead, Miriam.
Okay, so you know, he said something about the rail line. You know, so these are things that many Nigerians have questioned. I remember when it was talked about the rail line from Nigeria into Niger Republic. And his response is that I find that it's important that he made this response, which is, he says that it is important in our war against Boko Haram to have good relationships with our bordering neighbors. And Niger, Cameroon, Chad, these are countries that he's been to in order to facilitate the talks about protection across our borders. And so it makes sense to move the rail line from Nigeria to Niger because of similarities in culture. So I think what Nigerians are saying is that we get that, and that's a valid point about fostering good relationship with our neighbors. But at what cost is this rail line is what Nigerians are really talking about. And at a time when many people are complaining about minimum wage, where money should be put within Nigeria concerning so many things, health, education, moving a rail line from Nigeria to Niger, is that really what is most important right now? So Nigerians are not saying we do not want to foster good relationships. We're saying at what cost and at this time.
Another thing that struck me was what he said concerning NSAS. I mean, when he implied that NSAS, was saying it casually, that NSAS, that would be where the young people wanted to remove him. And that struck a chord with me because I felt that maybe he was miscommunicated. He did not maybe understand. What the information he got about what NSAS was about was that they want to remove you, they're all protesting to remove you. Maybe that's the information that he got, because based on what he's saying, it's clear from his utterance that he wasn't aware that NSAS was specifically about police brutality, the bad governance Nigerians have gone through, and the fact that they felt the government wasn't listening to them. It wasn't about removing him from office. I don't think there was, I don't even think there was part of their demands included removing him from office. So for him to say that, what are his handlers, what are his aides telling him? Those people don't mind them, they won't just remove him from office, because we hear a lot of politicians constantly making that assertion that the politicians are the ones funding these people because they are aggrieved that they lost out
against the president.
Yeah, they ploy against the president. They want to remove our administration. It's always so personal. Any agitation is about us, about our party, about our political office. They don't understand the issues.
Well, isn't that sad?
But I think that his handlers need to do a lot better in terms of relating to him what is happening in truth, not because they want to pass an information to gain favor or they want to become yes men. Because there are some leaders you work with and all you have to say is yes. If you challenge them or you tell them exactly what is happening on ground, you are seen as the enemy. So I think it's left for his handlers to tell him exactly what is happening. That's one. Secondly, I personally was happy that he came out to speak. You know, I always complain when he comes out to read.
Yes.
I feel there is no connect. But watching that interview, he was relaxed, he was laughing, and he was speaking. Although there were, you know, a few inconsistencies, there were some questions that he totally missed. I could say either he did not understand or he decided, because he's a smart man, he decided to go somewhere else. I would want a situation whereby he can give us this more often, speak to us. Now, if he has a problem with understanding exactly the sort of words, because they asked a question on what's this foreign investments. Is it FDI they call it now? Foreign direct investments, and he gave us a different answer. There's no job in the government and all of that. I would like a situation whereby he can speak to us in his language. They can get an interpreter for us. Because that connection, see, you see all these things we brought out now from what he said a few hours, it's helping us understand the mind of the president. We need to understand his mind on a weekly, monthly, quarterly basis.
Say it in Hausa.
Say it in Hausa, get him an Hausa interviewer. So that he will respond the way he wants to respond, with the understanding that he has.
Yes. Well, maybe he really meant they protested, but the way it came out is...
Our president speaks English. Let's just leave it at that. He speaks English. He's been to school and he speaks English. I mean, Nigeria, we all have our Nigerianness and our Nigerian ways of expressing ourselves. But I think he understood this NSAS thing is not a matter of expressing himself in English. It's really a matter of, one, when you say the AIDS, what intelligence did he get? Secondly, really, I question the fact that we always say this about our leaders. It's the people around them. It's what they told him. Doesn't he watch TV? Doesn't he read the papers himself? Can he not come to conclusions by himself? Do you understand? We cannot keep blaming the aides around him, the yes men around him. At the end of it, the buck ends with him right there. So the president got, with the NSAS, for me, my personal opinion, the president got that wrong. People stood up and were protesting police brutality. That was what it was most about. And if you look at the 5-point agenda that was first given, you would see it clearly stated. So it was not about taking the president out.
No, my opinion on, you know, him probably using the Hausa language to communicate to us is not about the answers. So there were some questions that he answered. There were some questions I felt he did not understand the question. See, he just went the other way.
I agree with you. This man is 80 plus.
Yes. I mean, he just went the other way. Let's call it
when your grandfather is talking to you, he's speaking your local language. Yes. Then you can now try to interpret it. So I hear what you're saying, BC. But now, let's talk about his body language, his physical appearance. And I saw a little mole. Did you guys notice on the chin?
I didn't look that closely.
I looked at it. It had like a little ball. And I was thinking, okay, is he in proper good health? These are things that we try to observe to know his posture. And he seemed pretty alert. I mean, I was really surprised.
Yes, I was.
But he looked older. Compared to the last time I saw him physically, he looked a bit older for me. Not that I didn't see him.
So when
I saw him on TV.
Okay, maybe you have visited him.
I saw him on TV on NTA when he was speaking. I think doing I can't remember what it was. But so I noticed a little mole on his chin, and I thought that he was pretty alert. But one thing that struck me, BC Mariam, is the fact that I felt that our president came for a season where we needed that shake-up of integrity, leadership, the military aura. But Nigeria is such a complex state that what we need right now is a visionary leader.
Yes.
What we need is a leader who is taking us on a journey. A leader who is in tune with every single sector. Who knows the current trends. Yeah. So he came for a season. But I think it is clear to me
what we need now going forward.
Daddy, it's time for you to just
take a bow.
Take a back seat and let us get some, because Nigeria, you see, another thing.
That point that you made, you know, he said something about fighting corruption in a democracy and why it's tougher for him right now. And so that makes sense about the sort of leader we need for this time. So it's already a democracy, Mr. President. We have to find ways to fight corruption within the democracy. We cannot keep going back and pulling on how it used to be. This is how it is now.
It also told me that Nigerians, we are good people. We just lack visionary leadership. You know, you just realize that, you know what, all the wahala, the fight here, it's not about us. We are actually good people. What we lack is just leadership. It's just leadership that communicates to us, because we have good people in different hands. We have great people working in the National Assembly.
Yes.
We have great people working in the local government.
Yes.
We have great people across.
Yes.
But we just need somebody who is driving the ship to a destination.
We need a plan.
Yeah.
We need to say, okay, Nigeria in the next 10 years, this is where we are today. This is where we are hoping to be.
Yeah.
Who are the people who, you know, we can work together to take us to that level? We need a plan. We need periodic checks. Are we getting there? In terms of education, where are we? What do we hope to do? In terms of this, let us take a leaf from countries that have really worked hard. So Singapore, for instance, they had a vision, and they told themselves, in so and so time, we are going to get there. And they had to squeeze themselves anyhow to get to that level. Once we have a leader who has vision, who is able to pick people not because you are from my tribe, who puts Nigeria's interest first, and picks the right hands with the capacities, who will get it. But how do we find that leader?
All right, that's all we can take, please. Thank you very much. I'm really hoping to get some calls. Nobody called in for whatever reason.
They're still thinking about it.
Stay with us.
Phone lines are open.
Phone lines are open. I really want to hear Nigerians. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I think they'll call us.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Thanks for staying with us. So we'll be discussing our president's visit to Lagos, his interview, and his speech, and your thoughts on it. You can call us on 081-270-53687, also 091-390-76948, and send us messages on Facebook. We'll definitely read your comments. I think I have a caller. Good morning. Are you there? Hello? Emmanuel from Akoka, you're live. Go ahead, please.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. Yes.
Yeah, you guys are doing a nice job.
Thank you, sir.
It's nice hearing from you guys. Father, right, regarding our president, most of the things he said were not incoherent with the questions they asked him. Some questions were actually off-point. And I don't know, at this modern age in time, we have a president that you ask one question, he's telling you something else about a different entire scenario. You can take, for example, when they asked him about how is he tackling the job unemployment in the country. He gave us about changing the service chiefs. It's not coherent, so it shows there's something somewhere that is missing. Either it's not fit to be a president, he should go and relax at home and retire from serving the country, because it's old already, and this shows a lot of where we're having issues from. NSAS, he thought NSAS was about taking him out of power. NSAS was about police brutality. Even the name alone tells you what it means. But I don't know why he watched TV's news during that NSAS, so you should know what those youths were about clamoring for. It wasn't about taking out Buhari from the presidency. So it tells us a lot of ways that we are losing something somewhere, and the president should go and relax, because he's too old already to govern us as the president. So that's just my
Thank you very much, Emmanuel, for your thoughts. Yes.
So I also had a problem with some things that he said, which opened my eyes to see that maybe there's no solution in sight. So for instance, where he talked about if we want people to be able to come in and invest, if we want peace, the youth need to ensure that there is peace. He just pushed the responsibility back on the young people. I would have expected an answer such as, this is what we are doing to ensure that there's security. Though in some other words, he has said that he's trying his best to make sure that he's able to protect the lives and the property of his citizens. But we are not, I didn't feel that. I just felt it was a way of just pushing. You ask him this, he pushes it, he finds someone to hand over the responsibility to. I believe that a leader is one who takes responsibility. A leader is one who is accountable. Even when you know that the mess-ups don't come from you, when you come outside, you tell us what you want to do. When you go inside, you flog the people that are messing your name up. So I didn't see that as much. I just saw passing the buck.
The governor of Oyo State speech when he went to Ibarapa. And he was saying that, listen, it's my responsibility to take care of you.
Yes.
You know, things have happened. Please don't take laws into your own hands.
Yes.
And on top of this, I have done this light, we see something, some floodlights or something that you can see both in the day and night. You know, letting them, reassuring them, being there. There's certain words you use.
That's where
that people know and trust and believe what you're saying. Yeah. I think, and we can't blame our president. Listen, sometimes your age betrays that you're... So yeah, we know he means well. I mean, some people, we know he means well because he doesn't. I'm sure he doesn't want to leave a legacy of destruction. He wants to leave. He wants to be the president that solved that problem for him. So we know he means well. But the truth is that if you don't have, you can't give what you don't have.
Yes, you have to understand the problem to give what you need to do. So be able to give the solution. Yes, because as you know, some of the things that we've taken so far, it seems that somehow he does not get it as we get it. But also, you know, he mentioned when he was talking about the banditry, kidnapping along, you know, across Nigeria, he said something about the Northwest. He said what is happening in the Northwest specifically is people against each other. And that they're the ones stealing each other's cattle, burning each other's villages. And so he's handed it over to the governors, which is, you know your people. You know your people. Handle that. For me, in that particular case, that was important to know. Because we have stories of people coming from outside, you know, and they come into our villages and they cause all this mayhem and then they disappear. We never catch them. But if they are people, if they are your own people, are you complicit in the fact that this violence is happening? Are you refusing to name them and shame them and prosecute them because they are part of you? And so the president has shown the light for us from his interview that the Northwest needs to do better about fighting this violence that has to do with your people fighting against each other.
Let me take Ifeanyi. Ifeanyi, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm there.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah, good morning, Maura.
Morning.
My regards to about them. I'm first-time caller.
Ooh, welcome to the show.
Yes. My contribution to the present media chat yesterday, I actually was that Nigeria is supposed to be moving forward.
Okay.
And now, as you can see, we are not moving forward. The issue we are talking now is not the issue of you asking one question, you divert another question. Look at what is happening to the presently now. As of yesterday, what I was watching about, at that moment, people were killing. They were killing people as if they were just totally people. Somebody called from Kenya that they were killing people. And what the president...
It's so difficult hearing you, Ifeanyi. I didn't hear anything you said at all. We can take some comments from Facebook. We have any?
Okay, somebody, Wale Jacob says, if the country is okay, will the youth protest? And what jobs did you create since you became president? Except kidnapping and banditry for headsmen, your kinsmen.
Well, talking about that, you know, he said something about the youth during the interview as well, and he says most of the problem is that the youth are hungry. They're idle, there's no jobs, and they're hungry.
He said that?
Yes, he did, but he didn't tell us the solution.
So that's it. So, Mr. President, yes. I mean, we have heard this, or you know, many times when you take some story, you'll be like, we know that. We know. Tell us something we haven't heard before. We know that. We understand that that is a big problem. So what are we going to do concerning this? These youths are going to grow up into non-youths, and they are going to try, you know, for how long are we going to just keep mentioning what the problem is? What do we need to do to turn this problem around? And for me, I wish we got an answer for that.
Okay, we have to wrap up on this, but I think, listen, in life there are phases. You know, there's a phase under the Jonathan administration where there was so much theft, corruption, and there was that need for change. Yeah. So we brought in a new president to effect that change. I think where we are right now is we now need somebody to stabilize our system, to enshrine that patriotism, enshrine the right Nigerianness, and the kind of leader to take us there.
Equity,
equality
because every Nigerian
nobody has monopoly of knowledge or violence or anything. Nobody. Every region now is we're all enlightened.
Yes, so
nobody wants to be an underdog anymore. So we need that leader that's going to really drive us as an equitable entity to the future. That's what we need. Let's go on a break. When we come back, our celebrity just stepped in. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Let us find me.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.